Bom dia, welcome back. Another beautiful day here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. I'm on my daily long walk. I'm walking up the hill from my neighborhood, Bahia, up to the upper city, the Cidade Alta. I'm walking along the coast road. I'm looking out on the big Bay of All Saints. Absolutely gorgeous as always. Thank you to all of my viewers, my new subscribers, my old subscribers. I appreciate it. I'm going to give myself a challenge today. Let's see on my 3-hour walk if I can make this walk without sending 1 penny or 1 centavo. Boy, money has just been flowing through my hands like water the last 2 months, September and October, and I attribute that, of course, to the fact that that I moved in mid-August to a new apartment here in Salvador. I was living in a small city in the interior of the state of Bahia, and I needed to buy a lot of things, a lot of basics, appliances, refrigerator, stove, and bed, and basic living supplies. And of course the apartment that I rented is more expensive, significantly more expensive than I was paying in the small city of San Antonio, because of course, you know, I'm in a big city, historical city, the capital of the state of the Bahia, and of course things are more expensive here, although still reasonable. Everything fits into my 1,500 a month budget. It's just that the last month or two I've had expenses that were not normal, and so I've got to be careful for the rest of this month of October. No more splurges. I'm going to be celebrating my 71st birthday on Thursday. Today's Monday, and my birthday is on Thursday. I'll be turning 71, and here I am at 71 climbing up this steep hill and doing pretty good. What other birthdays do I remember? I don't really celebrate birthdays very much. They're not that important to me, especially, you know, as you get older. You want everything to slow down, not speed up. I remember my 50th birthday. I spent it here in Salvador. I remember, wow, I'm 50. And I remember my 40th birthday, I was living in Mexico City. And I remember I was director of a English language school there in Mexico City. I remember there was some kind of a school assembly that day. And the students and parents wished me happy birthday on my 40th birthday. Let's see. I remember my 21st birthday. It happened in the city of San Francisco, California. That's memorable, turning 21 in the United States, because that means you can officially, legally go into a bar. And I remember I did go into a bar on my 21st birthday. Seemed like a big deal then. Now I laugh. I don't go into bars, I don't drink alcohol. And all the other birthdays, well, they're just vague, barely memories. 9 years from now, I'll turn 80. And I'll check in with you again on my 80th birthday. Let's see if at 80, I'm still climbing that hill, if I'm still going out for 2 and 3 hour walks, if I'm still alive and kicking and living here in Salvador. We'll see. Join me in 9 years for my 80th birthday. I don't have anything special planned for my birthday this coming Thursday. I don't even think my Brazilian family or my San Francisco family will really remember, because, you know, when you're up in your 70s, I'm turning 71, it's just not much of a red letter day. Now, I used to get lots of birthday greetings from my Brazilian family in our family WhatsApp group. But earlier this year, I got kicked out of the family WhatsApp group by let's say, a family member who does not like hearing the truth. And I guess I could call myself a truth teller. And the truth teller in a family sometimes gets punished by people or a person who doesn't like to hear the truth. And so he deleted me from the family group, and when another family member tried to add me again, he deleted me again. So I'm just going to leave it like that for the time being. We'll see. We're walking down the beautiful Corredor da Victoria with all these trees that line and canopy this street. I've always liked the month of October, at least up in the northern hemisphere, because I like the fall weather. And of course, as a child, I loved Halloween, and birthday parties often meant a Halloween-themed birthday party. And of course, as an adult, I learned to love Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, because I lived in Mexico, where Dia de los Muertos is a huge, huge, beautiful, interesting celebration, multi-day celebration actually. There is a Day of the Dead. It's called, I believe it's called Dia dos Defuntos, November 2nd here in Brazil. It's a national holiday actually, but it's nothing like Day of the Dead in Mexico. It's more of a private affair. People will go to the cemetery and clean up their family tomb if they have one, but it's not, you know, a festive, fascinating celebration like it is in Mexico. Oh my, I used to love, and I still love Dia de los Muertos, and it's also celebrated beautifully in San Francisco, California, where I lived. A huge Dia de los Muertos parade and costumes, and you know, California is an extension of Mexico, in my opinion. And but down here, it's, you know, there's been a little seeping in of Halloween into Brazil. At the shopping center and upscale stores, you'll see a few Halloween decorations, pumpkins, skeletons, but it's, you know, mostly noted by the upper classes who want to feel international. But it, you know, there's no trick-or-treating or any of things like that here. Have I mentioned how incredibly lucky I feel at age 71 that my life has turned out the way it has? That I live here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, as a permanent legal resident, that in 6 months from now I'll be eligible to apply for Brazilian citizenship, that I'm happy and healthy and live a good life. Let me pinch myself. Ouch. It's true, it's real, and I want that for all of you too. When that time of your life comes, you can make it happen. And I hope you do. I said it before and I'm saying it again. Take risks in life and be adventurous, and good things will happen. At this stage of my life, I have almost no biological family left, with the exception of a few cousins in Florida, who I am in contact with, but we didn't grow up together. Naturally, at this age, my grandparents, my parents, aunts, uncles, sibling are all gone. But that's okay. Because, you know, another important thing in life is to create your own family, friends and loved ones who are not biologically related to you, but often have more in contact, more in more in common with you sometimes than your blood relations do or did. And I am fortunate to have two sets of friends who I consider family. Of course, the one here in Brazil, the family that I married into, and who are very near and dear, and live near me and are here to support me when I need them. And then friends who are family up in California, in San Francisco and Los Angeles, who have stuck by me through thick and thin for decades. And I am very grateful and thankful for that. So never despair. If your biological family is no longer there are many ways to create new family ties. I had one sibling, a brother. He was a twin brother, a fraternal twin brother. Sadly, he died at age 24 when we were 24. He developed a mental illness, schizophrenia, and he took his own life. So I've been an only child since the age of 24, but I do have people in my life who are as close or closer than biological family was. So I'm grateful for that. My biological brother published a book at a very young age when he was 23. It was published by Dell Publishing. He was an astrologer, and he wrote a book called Sun Signs, Moon Signs. You can still find used copies on Amazon, for example. Of course, it was published in the late 1970s, so it's long out of print, but people who are seriously into astrology like his book, thought he was a good astrologer, and now his book sells for hundreds of dollars a copy, amazingly. So he still lives on through that. My mother also wrote a bestseller, a memoir, about her 2 seasons in the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus back in the early 1940s. And there are used copies for sale on Amazon. I'm not suggesting anybody buy these books. I'm just saying that they're still out there. Their energy is still out there, which is nice. And of course I have copies of both of those books here in Brazil. And on the Day of the Dead, O Dia dos Defuntos, Dia dos Muertos, I put both of the books out on a table with candles, a few flowers, and I create a little Day of the Dead altar, just like I learned to do when I lived in Mexico. And it's comforting. It's a nice spiritual connection with them. Do I ever think of moving back to Mexico? Well, yes, I do. Mexico was and is my first love. And I speak Spanish fluently. I love Mexico, Mexican culture. There's one problem, though. Unfortunately, it's not so easy just to up and move to Mexico like it once was. Now, to get a residency visa, you have to have a monthly income. It's gotten really high, like between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. And of course, I don't earn that much. I only get like $1,500 a month in Social Security. So I don't qualify for a residency visa. Now you can, just fly there and be there on a tourist visa for 6 months and then leave the country and then fly back and rinse and repeat. Could do that repeatedly, but it doesn't work as well as it used to. They now question people. They say you've done this too many times, etc., etc. So it's not guaranteed that you can do that like it once was back in the day. But yes, I would love to live in Mexico if I could. But it's just not as feasible as it used to be. But as a fluent Spanish speaker, thank God I learned to speak Spanish. Very, very, very useful language. both outside of the United States. It's spoken in something like 23 different countries, and within the United States. You know, in spite of what Trump wants and likes, Spanish, the United States is a bilingual country now. And you can live very well in states like California and Texas and other states as a Spanish speaker. So I always highly recommend everybody learn Spanish. The United States has the second largest Spanish-speaking population in the world. Mexico is number 1. The United States is number 2. The United States has more Spanish speakers than the country of Spain. So it's a very, very useful language and a beautiful language. Portuguese, of course, is a beautiful language. A little bit more difficult, not quite as easy to get to find ways of practicing it, at least when you're in the United States. But I believe Portuguese, it's the 6th most spoken language in the world, so there are plenty of places where you can go and learn and practice Portuguese too. Here in Brazil, Portugal, of course, in former Portuguese colonies, in Africa, and in Asia. I feel a very strong desire to visit some of the Portuguese-speaking countries in Africa. I'd love to go to Mozambique. I'd love to go to Cabo Verde. I love the music from Cabo Verde. Guinea-Bissau, Angola. Got to get there. Forget the country of Sao Tome and Principe. I love the two brothers, the two singers, the musical group Calema. And now I'm on the busy shopping street, Avenida 7 de Setembro. Always very interesting street vendors here and shops and stores. And I'm going to stop chattering now and continue my walk. Maybe I'll walk all the way up to the historic Pelourinho district. So, thanks for joining me today on my daily long walk here in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. As always, beijo, ciao.